Hi, it's Gina at Tarot in Time, and I'm here to give you a tarot reading for the week of February 1st, 2021. So I printed out the sunrise chart for the week, and the first thing I want to talk to you about is that Mercury has gone into retrograde. It went into retrograde on Saturday. It's going to be there until February 20th. So Mercury is the planet of communication. So it rules all forms of communication. It also rules highways, so traveling is definitely affected. So just taking a quick little peek at this chart, and if you're listening to this later in the week, the chart still is fairly similar during the week. You'll see the moon moves the most. The moon on the sunrise of February 1st is up here in the 8th house, which is owned by Scorpio. And it's up there in the sign of, looks like Virgo. Oh, actually, I'm wrong. It's in Libra. So the sun is in Aquarius. There's Aquarius rising, and there is a Libra moon. So what I'm going to tell you, let's see about this. The first thing that jumps out at me is that the sun and Mercury are conjunct, which means they're really close together. You can see them right there. Very close together, affecting each other, and then we already know Mercury's in retrograde. So we're going to want to be really careful with our communication. The sun is how we're seen. It's also in the first house, and the first house is all about I am. That's the term that's associated with it. It's ruled by Aries. It's the first sign of the zodiac. So it would be a time, like the first thing that kind of jumps to mind is like, it wouldn't be a great time to be writing a bio about yourself. Maybe not the best time to be applying for jobs or making any big statements about yourself, because things are a little wacky. First of all, communication's is a little messed up, or has the chance to be messed up. That's why you want to check everything that's important during this period. You're going to want to check it 3 times. And I know it sounds silly, 3 times, you think like 2's enough, but the whole retrograde thing has like this back and forth and back again movement. And so you really want to check it 3 times because things can change so quickly. Especially anything to do with electronics. So like sending emails, all that kind of communication, talking on cell phones, anything like if you book something on the computer, especially a trip, you want to check it 3 times. Because not only we have so much going on in Aquarius, we have a lot of planets in Aquarius, we have the sun in Aquarius. Aquarius rules anything genius, anything like it rules the internet. So having Mercury right there next to the sun, conjunct, and knowing we have retrograde, you're going to want to be extra, extra careful. Anything involving electronics. We have Neptune in the 2nd house. The 2nd house is ruled by Taurus. It has to do with money and value, anything we value. And it's in its own sign of Pisces. So Neptune rules the fog. It also rules spirituality, the bigger picture. It's in its own sign. So it's going to be really felt strongly. So this is not a time to spend a lot of money. And I have a store, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, it's not a time, like small purchases, not a big deal, regular life, not a big deal, but when you're buying something special, don't do it during retrograde. So hold off. You can shop, you can window shop, you can make plans for what you want, and whatever you do, if something like out of the blue shows up that you're like, I've got to have it, be really careful. So not a great time to buy stocks or invest in things. Not a good time for, I'm feeling like don't buy the car. Definitely don't buy the car. Let's see. There was something else. Oh yeah. Mars is there it's in the 3rd house, which is the house that Mercury owns. One of the houses that it owns. It's Gemini's house. So it has everything to do with communication, and Mars wants to take action. It's how you get things done, and it's going to want to get things done, and you're going to want to just kind of try to tone it down, especially with wanting to communicate about who you are And so just be careful to know, oh yeah, maybe I'll start writing down, maybe I'll start working on the bio, maybe I'll start working on the resume, but not a great time to put it out there as much as your energy might want to do it. Let's see, we have the moon is in the 8th house. That's Scorpio's house. And it is there making a positive aspect to Venus. So I would say, like, don't think about getting engaged this Valentine's Day. That's my big advice for you. Again, you don't want to be spending a ton of money. You don't want to make any big statements right now. That's the thing, like no big statements. And getting engaged would be a big statement. So my advice for you is to start thinking about Valentine's Day. Think about maybe a nice romantic, like really sexy kind of at-home kind of evening. Because the moon right now, it will move out of its position by Valentine's Day. But if you can start planning that, and I'm just really feeling that you could really be successful with small things in a really romantic, sexy way. You're going to get a lot farther. We also have Scorpio at the midheaven in the chart, top of the chart. There was something else that I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, the nodes. So your south node, which isn't really a planet, but it's a point on your chart, is in the 11th house, which is owned by Aquarius. And so a lot of old friends might come up. Maybe it's in the sign of Sagittarius, so it could even be that old friends want to come and visit. But just be careful. There's a lot of Neptune energy, and so just enjoy the time, but don't make any big commitments. If all of a sudden somebody from the past comes in and you're like, I'm in love, and this is the person, and I always thought it was that person, wait until after February 20th to see how you feel. Okay, so great week to just take it kind of slower. Just take it easy and avoid any major decision making. Okay, so we are going to go into the 3 piles here. The first, what I did was I used the Astro dice, which is kind of fun, and I put a dice on each pile. So pile number 1 has the number 3, that's what I rolled, and number 3 is related to Gemini's house, the 3rd house, the house of communication. The second pile, I rolled, this has all planets on it, and I rolled the moon for pile number 2. And then this dice has all the astrological signs on it, and I've rolled Scorpio. So go ahead and pick your pile, and we'll get started. Okay, so we're going to get started with pile number 1, which we had the number 3 for the Gemini's house, the house of communication. I'm working with a couple decks today. I have the Everyday Witch, this is the Oracle deck, and then I'm also working with the Tarot deck. We have these in stock. They're really fun. They have grown on me so much. I personally use a pendulum when I'm picking decks to work with, and these were the 3 that really strongly wanted to work with us today. So sometimes you'll see I use a lot of decks. Today I'm only working with 3. The other one is the Herbal Tarot by Michael Tierra and Candace Canton. Great deck, love it. Really helps me learn about plants too. Okay, so I picked these cards, have not looked at them yet, and let's get started knowing that one of the themes so far for you is the house of communication, and knowing that the planet that rules that house, Mercury, is in retrograde. Retrograde means that it's moving backwards. It's not really moving backwards, but it appears to be moving backwards, and it affects us as if it were moving backwards. We're starting off with the Page of Swords. This is the plant dill, and dill is so refreshing. I feel like it's like a spring kind of like liver cleanser. I'm not sure if I'm right about that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it feels like. It's sharp. Some people hate it. Very cleansing, and so many vitamins available in it. So the Page of Swords is this young energy. He's picking up that sword. He might not exactly know what he's doing, but swords, it goes back again to Mercury, because swords is air energy. It's associated with Mercury. It's associated with communication, and he's ready. He's got that sword. So let's see what else we've got here. We've got the Seven of Wands from the Everyday Witch, and it looks like she's really orchestrating what's going on. There's a lot coming at her, and she's trying to get it all straight. Wands is the fire element. Seven is often associated with your spiritual path. We've got the Ten of Cups. That's the marijuana card in this Herbal Tarot. So there's a lot coming at you. There's a lot. It's the Ten of Cups, when you break it down, is a 1. So it's kind of reached its maximum point before something new starts. Ten of Cups can often be, it's like the happy family card, but in this instance, I'm looking at it like wanting to escape what's going on, because there's a lot going on, and there may be some conversations that you feel like you need to have, and that you're not ready to have them. There's some things that you need to say that maybe not everyone's going to appreciate. And my advice to you is to hold off as long as you can, which would be until after the 20th. So you can start orchestrating what you want to say. You can start seeing it, and question why you want to escape those feelings, because marijuana definitely can be used to kind of just like numb out and not want to deal with things, or want a different perspective on things. But yeah, let's see as we keep going what else we've got. We've got the Six of Wands, Six of Fire. She's handing out roses. She's being applauded. We've got Earth Magic from the Everyday Witch Oracle. It's a pretty cool picture. The moon is full. We just had the full Leo moon this past weekend. And so she's working her magic there. She's got salt and sage and crystals. And so she's making her wishes. She's, I'm looking at it as like, you have more power than you think that you have, and you may feel like there's a lot going on. You can be well received with your feelings and what you're saying, because if you show up, if you actually like take some control and just try not to escape out of it. So work your magic, get grounded, get clear. Clearing, like she's using sage. Sage clears energy. So there may be some, it would really be good to clear around you or clear your space, because I'm feeling like there's a lot of conversations and a lot of energy around you that may be just like difficult for you. She's got a bowl of salt there. Salt is very cleansing. If you're wearing, like if you have been arguing with someone, if you're wearing any stones, jewelry, you might want to put that into salt, because it can absorb a lot of negative energies. And yeah, let's see what else comes up. We've got the Three of Pentacles here. It almost looks like they're taking an art class. And the writing is on the wall. Here's Temperance. So this is your first major arcana in this pile. This is card number 14. 1 and 4 equals 5. 2021 is a 5-year. It's all about change. There's changes coming, but you've got this. Look at her. She's balanced. She's standing on one leg. She's winking at you. She's got her cupcakes and her computer, and it looks like she's got a dirty martini over there. She's got it all balanced out. She can have a little bit of everything without going to too extreme of just like not wanting to numb out. The writing's on the wall, so definitely you do know what's going on. You do know that there's some conversation that you need to have. There's some kind of, there's like a hesitance for you to speak up, but you can do this, but just pick the right time. And work your magic as best as you can so that when you do present what you have to say, it is not so destructive. Strength and resilience. Again, you've got this. You can do this. What you have to say is important. It's just the timing. Here's the Page of Page of Pentacles. He's flipping a coin. He's got this map. Trying to decide where to go. Which way? And then we have the Ace of Cups. Okay, so the Ace of Cups and the Six of Wands here both tell me that you can get satisfaction and be well received. The the Ace of Cups, so we have this 10 of Cups, right? The marijuana card we had. This is a 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So then it goes to this card, 1 of Cups. So there's going to be a closure. You're going to get the satisfaction that you're looking for. It's going to come in a new way. I think you're going to find peace in whatever it is, this relationship that you need to speak up with. Just be careful. I feel like Mercury retrograde is really going to affect you. Just watch your plans, check them 3 times. Make sure that you're not, like, when you do have the conversation that you need to have, that you've cleared enough of your own negativity and own garbage out of the way so that when you make your statement, it can go well. You can practice it. You can practice writing it. And it's time to just face those feelings, not escape the feelings. You may feel like, oh, I don't know how to do this. I'm new at this. You can do this. You've got it. It's all lined up for you. And you need to clear the way because there's just almost like there's too much on your plate. This is going to tax you if you don't take care of it. I do think you will take care of it. I think you will feel satisfied in the end. And then you'll be able to find more balance after you've taken care of this matter, where everything doesn't need to be so extreme and you don't have to be exhausted by it. I'm going to pull just a couple more cards. I want to just make sure if there's anything else here. Did we get to the heart of the matter? Oh, the Fool card just fell out. Love it. Okay, so the Fool is what the whole tarot deck, to me, this is what the whole thing is based on. It's the Fool's journey. He goes out, he's divinely guided, he listens to his intuition, and he has a wonderful adventure, and he learns. He meets all of his teachers and learns. This sign is associated with the sign Aquarius, ruled by the planet Uranus, and that's what we're in right now. We're there. The sun's in Aquarius. And then we talked about, for the week, the rising sign is Aquarius too. So this is the time to really deal with this, but not speak up yet. Start thinking about it. Feel what's coming up. What's coming up is a great teacher for you. And you can really be successful. And you can start something, you can start fresh. Let me see what else. Is there anything else that we missed in this reading? The World. That's the last major arcana. And the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so the World and the Ten of Pentacles. So we went from the first major arcana, which is the Fool. And then we went to the last major arcana, which is the World. So it's a successful mission. It's from beginning to end. It's been a success. And so there the wind is blowing away her hat. She's off duty. She's on vacation. And so, and then we have the Ten of Pentacles here. Beautiful, happy, successful life. So really, you've got this. You just have to, it's really comes down to timing, and it comes down to that it's time to move out of just avoidance and of self-medicating. There's a lot of Pisces energy going on in the chart. There's a lot of planets there, and when that Pisces it's ruled by Neptune, it can get very foggy. It definitely is associated with drugs and alcohol. And so it's easy to go that route to avoid things. And the message that I'm getting is that that time is coming to a close. You can find balance with that. There's a time and a place for Pisces, Neptune type energy in balance, like the Temperance card, where it's all there, a little bit of everything. But there's a change that needs to be made. You're ready to make it, so start planning it. Start doing your own personal work of clearing so that you don't come in and blame someone else for things. That do your own clearing work first, so that when you go into the conversation, you will be successful. You will be held, people will respect you, and you'll feel good afterwards. So I think you've got this. Enjoy your week. Okay, pile number 2, we have rolled the moon. So the moon is the great record keeper. It keeps track of everything that's ever happened to us. And it's really who we truly are. Like the sun is who we're seen, who people see us as, our sun sign, but there's so much more than that. Our rising sign has a lot to do with how we operate in the world, how we see the world, and then the moon is who we truly are. And sometimes we keep that secret, depending on where your moon falls. This week's chart, the moon falls in Scorpio. Scorpio loves to keep things quiet in the background, loves secrets. So, okay, so let's see what we have going on for you on pile number 2. Working with the 3 decks I mentioned, and I haven't looked at these cards, and I'm going to be looking at them for the first time right now. So here we go. Starting off with the Page of Cups. He's painting his masterpiece there. So the moon, who you truly are, the Page of Cups is like a young artist. I think of the Page of Cups as like someone who's willing to go out and have fun, to try things, not afraid, very childish energy in a beautiful way. And then we have the Knight of Cups. So this is a little bit more mature version of the Page of Cups, and he is just spreading love all around. Think of the Knight of Cups a lot as like a poet, musician, artist, and he's really there just blowing love bubbles around. Now you've got the Ace of Wands, so something new appearing out of the blue. Now I did say earlier that the South Node is there in the 11th house, which is Aquarius's home. So basically Aquarius owns the home, and then these planets and points travel through the home. So almost like an Airbnb guest. And so there the guest is the South Node, which is similar in a lot of ways to the moon, because the South Node is like a cup that holds everything that ever happened to you. And the moon is like the record keeper of all the things, the recording of what's happened. And so why did I start talking about that? The South Node, something new coming up, and all this love energy around, that there could be some people from the past, old loves, old friends that come up during this period. I personally find in retrograde, things come out of the blue, things that aren't seen, or I'll get a piece of information that kind of clicks things together for me. I'll run into a person I haven't seen in a long time that gives me a piece of information. So that's what I'm feeling for you here. There's something new that's like, oh, look at that. Wow. All the information, the books are open, the maps are opened, and suddenly there's this clarity. Now you have the 7 of Pentacles. She's checking her grapes. They don't look quite ready, but they're almost there. And there's a lot to be harvested, all those pentacles. So it's there, it's saying like, not yet, almost not yet. Here's the Strength card. It's Cayenne in this herbal deck. And I was going to place it right here under the Ace of Wands, which is kind of cool because the Ace of Wands is like that fiery energy, and there's Strength, another fire card, and this spicy Cayenne. So yeah, I feel like there's going to be some spice in your love life, and it may only be temporary, but enjoy it. There's something there, and it looks fun. Here's the Prayers and Wishes. She's dropping a coin into the well, making a wish. So something things that you have wished for maybe appearing now. And I definitely think it's like playful energy, like these pets here in the background are running and jumping and playing, and I think you've been wanting that kind of energy in your life, and like the moon recorded that, it was remembered, and now like your wishes are coming. Here's the Four of Cups, burdock. Burdock is like a really, really deep root. It's really good to cook with, actually, to the root. It's very grounding. There's the Four of Cups. She's waiting, and then all of a sudden this cup is handed. Now, it doesn't look like her attention is quite on it, so kind of be more aware of your surroundings, of what's coming in. We got affirmation for positive change. Interesting. She changed her clothes. She's looking ahead. Her ship's coming in. Looks like there's a mermaid in the water there. Feels very Neptune, very, we're talking about Neptune. Just taking a peek at the chart. It's in the second house. Taurus's house of value, of self-value. Here's the Judgment card. Love this version of Judgment, because it's usually like a little bit portrayed a little darker usually. So it's a Scorpio card. We know that Scorpio is raining down on the chart for this week. And so Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, which is the planet of transformation. And so there's transformative energy coming in your relationships, because Judgment's card number 20. So when you break that down to one digit, it's a 2. And 2 is anything in relationship. And she's on this path singing, playing music, really happy, really enjoying her life. And yeah, I really feel like your week is definitely about relationships and about old relationships coming back in for sure. And here's the Ace of Swords. So there's this, I love aces. I think of them as such a high card, but it is a 1, and it's something new. And it's swords, so it's a new way of thinking, a new way of communicating. Again, we know Mercury's in retrograde, so we're going to be careful with our communication, extra careful. So what I'm seeing is that even if this is just a fling or something temporarily fun, there's some kind of piece of information that's going to come in that's going to give you some closure, that's going to help you be able to move ahead. So enjoy the ride. It looks like a fun ride. Definitely, if there's any artistic endeavors that you want to take, this would be a great time to do it, because this is a great time to kind of stay distracted. Mercury in retrograde, it's like lay low for a while. It's winter here in New England. We're still in the midst of this COVID stuff. Great time to lay low. Work on an artistic project. Work on something that brings you joy and spreads more love. And just see who kind of pops up from the past, because I think it's going to be enjoyable and fun. I'm going to pick a couple more cards just to make sure that we've gotten to the bottom of everything this week for you. We got the Four of Cups again. So saying that, like, he's kind of distracted. Both of them, they're distracted by the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is usually a celebration, a party. And we definitely are short on parties these days. And so you can be feeling really frustrated on the fact that, like, there's not really any huge social life going on right now, at least up here in Connecticut. But there's a new cup coming in. And it's the Ace of Cups that's coming in. And the Ace of Cups is all about satisfaction. So there's something new. And when you shift your perspective, you may be able to see that instead of just being stuck in, mourning what isn't working. Now, let me pull a couple more. What else? Is there anything else we missed? We've got the Nine of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Page of Wands. Okay, so the Nine of Cups, she's all those cups behind her. She's taking a deep breath on the beach. The Four of Swords, love this card. We actually used this card when we closed for this month of January, this past month. we use this card on our sign on our door saying that we were going to rest and relax. And so, yeah, rest. This is a great time to just find some relaxation. Know that things are going to change. Do the things that please you. And here's the Page of Wands. He's getting on the road. He's out there. It's a new journey, a new passion. So just be patient. It's going to shift, and enjoy this, whatever energy it is that comes in. I will tell you that I do not think that this is going to be any long-term relationship. We have the Knight of Wands. He's a little bit of a player. So, but it doesn't mean that it can't be a fun week. And so it's coming in right over the Cayenne card too. So it's going to be spicy. Do what you want with it. It's not really something that's going to be really available, but the ride of it, the enjoyment, the conversation could be great. So, but just keep in mind that if this isn't exactly what you wanted, even if it's little bits and pieces of what you wanted, then you're starting to manifest things. And so even it's not always going to be exactly what you wished for, but if you're starting to get components of what you wish for, then just keep concentrating on the other parts that you want. So the best thing to do is to envision what you want. And she's kind of resting, dreaming. She's sitting there relaxing. Envision, make a vision board, do something to start thinking about, okay, well, this person had some of those qualities that I'm looking for, that zest, and yeah, enjoy the ride. Okay, pile number 3. I had rolled the dice and gotten Scorpio for this pile. These are such fun dice. Okay, and then Scorpio is up here on the top of the chart for the week. So its energy is kind of raining down on the whole chart. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the planet of transformation. I really love Scorpios. I find that they can be real. They feel very familiar to me. Maybe that's partly because I have a lot of planets in Scorpio. The Scorpios are really I find them to be very honest, but then they can also kind of be a little secretive too. And they're very detailed. And they're a water sign, so they're really in touch with the underlying emotions. They can feel things, they can perceive things, and whatever you do, you don't want to make them angry. It's not going to be pretty, and they never forget things, so just keep that in mind. So the moon is there in Scorpio's house, and Scorpio really has to do with the underworld. If there's people that have passed on the other side that you're looking to communicate with, you may be able to tap into some of that energy. It's very watery realm, and so you can feel things very intuitively with a lot of Scorpio energy. So let's see what's going on for your week. I have a bunch of cards here from 3 different decks. I have not looked at them yet, and I'm going to start reading them now. Okay, you've got the Queen of Swords starting you out. Queen of Communication, Queen of Air. She would be considered a Gemini queen, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury's in retrograde. So very important for you to keep that in mind this week. All those things that we talked about. She's the queen of boundaries. She's a tough chick. You don't want to mess with her. And so she's the queen of business. Let's see what else comes up. We've got meditation for creativity. Wow, that's a lot of creativity there. It's like he's working with a torch almost. Painting. The Lovers. And guess what the Lovers is ruled by? It's associated with Gemini, and it's ruled by the planet Mercury. So I got a lot of Mercury going on. Okay, so you're going to have to be really extra careful about Mercury retrograde. You may want to look up in your chart where Mercury is in your chart so you can get more details on how that's going to affect you personally. The Lovers, as much as it's it's the Lovers. It's about relationships, but it's really about choices and really taking a pause, a nice deep breath before jumping in. Especially this week, I've already given you the love warning. And so maybe take some of that sensual energy, because Scorpio is a very sensual sign, and put it into some of your artwork, some creative work. We've got the Five of Swords. And guess what this is associated with? Swords is air. Goes back to Gemini again. It goes back to Mercury. Now 5 is a number of change, and she's doing her thing, and some people are a little mortified by it. Let's keep going and see what comes up. We've got this. I really didn't make this up. I did not look at these. This is the 7 of Swords, more air energy, more Mercury, tiptoeing around. It's like the family crest up there. He's kind of sneaking in. Okay, we've got wands here, 3 of Wands. Looks a lot like this meditation for creativity. Both using that wand to create something that they want. Here's the 3 of Swords, more Mercury. So yeah, there's been some love lost, there's been some pain. Let's see let's just keep going and then we'll tie it all together. We have the Hanged Man. So he's getting a different viewpoint on things. Yeah, and the Hanged Man again. This one's called Kelp in the Herbal Tarot. We've got the Tower. This is an Aquarius card related to the planet Uranus. So garlic is very sharp, right? Not everybody likes it, very cutting. And the Tower is when that lightning bolt hits. We're in that season. We're in Aquarius season. Unpredictable change that not everyone's gonna like. And we already see they're a little mortified by what you're saying and doing as it is. Now let's see. And then we've got the Water Magic. She's got her little recipe book there and she's working some kind of magic. Okay, so that feels so Scorpio. All right, so it's like this tiptoeing around energy in these relationships. Not everybody's pleased with you. You're kind of caught up in the past of things that didn't work. And it's time to really take a look at things from a different perspective, to really look through the details. There's not, like the Hanged Man isn't in any pain here. He's just being held. They say he's held by his higher power. So you're held here. There's this delay that you're being held back. And I'm looking at it more like the pain of the past, the things that didn't work out, probably having to do with relationships. You really need to look at it from a different perspective so you're not pulling it forward into your new relationships. Scorpio rules our reproductive organs, that whole area. So it's really a time to look at what relationships, where the hurts were, and try to transform them, because Pluto is the planet that rules Scorpio, and it's there to bring you change. And Uranus is there to bring uncontrolled change. And so then there's this new, this almost reminds me of like the Ace of Cups. There's this new satisfaction, there's this new formula, there's this new recipe that you can be using to get what you want. So I feel like there's a lot of sexual energy here that can be used in a more creative way, that can be used to create new things. There's some boundaries here. There's the Queen of Swords is the Queen of Boundaries, and you got to cut some ties with these old relationships. And I think they're just energetic ties from past stuff. And so this would be a good time to like actually envision like a cord cutting. Like just close your eyes and just envision it. If someone keeps coming up to your mind, like an ex that keeps coming up, let's just envision you're cutting the cord, forgiving yourself for the things that happened, and no longer sneaking around that, oh, this relationship, because take responsibility for the role that you played and get the energy back so that you can start creating the things you want. I feel like it's just an energy leak of the past. And so if you can look at it from a different perspective, it's going to be really nourishing, because the hanged man, or it's called the suspended person here, kelp is really nourishing. It's a great thing to add into your diet, right? It's in miso soup, very nurturing. So as you take better care of yourself, and as you just got to let go of some of these things that happen. We all have had bad relationships that have affected us, and we can sit here every day and let them ruin us every day, because Scorpio never forgets, so it keeps coming back up. Or we can say, yeah, it happened, I forgive myself, I'm going to take my energy back and stop running these same thoughts, because there's a lot of air energy here, and it has to do with the mind and the thought pattern. So instead of just running down those same roads, let's forgive and move on. And let the energy of the Tower just clear that out for you. Take it away and start really working the magic of what you want to get the relationship that you want, the satisfaction that you want. If you're already in a current relationship, this can just be something new that's going to satisfy you. I see it in the artistic realm. Something, and maybe writing down. If you're not journaling or writing about, that's a good way to get the old stuff out. But it's time to do that. You might not want to share that writing with others right now, just because of the retrograde thing, and we already went through the making statements about yourself. Not the best time, but you can write them and you can start working on it. So let's see what else, if there's anything else that we missed here. The Star. Temperance. I'm going to switch to this deck. 2 majors so far. So I'm asking if there's anything that we missed. And so Knight of Pentacles and the High Priestess. So out of 4 cards, 3 of them are majors. So to me, that tells me that you're on the right path. The Star comes in after the Tower card. So allowing the Tower to just clear out what doesn't work. And the Star comes in to tell you that there's hope, there's healing, it's available. It's been moved out of your way. It's another Aquarius card. So right now, it's Temperance, which is ruled by Jupiter, which is a planet of luck and blessings and expansion. This is Echinacea. You know, Echinacea is often used to, so you don't get colds. And so Temperance is there to tell you that you will be taken care of. You're moving in the right direction. There's joy for you. And here's the Knight of Pentacles. He goes after, he's questing for what's of value. So you're gonna be able to move past this and move past it with your self-value really in place. Forgive yourself and be able to move on, to be freed from that hold of the Hangman, because you will have learned what you need to learn so you can move forward. Yeah, moving forward, change, 5 of Wands, Knight of Swords, and you can do this. And you know, other people may, like, I feel like there's like gossipy energy around you, and too bad. Let them talk. You're going to move past it. And you've got this. Another sword. You've got this. You can do this. Okay. I'll just pull one more card and then we'll be... And it's the Hermit. Hermit's always searching for truth. And look at that. She's sitting in front of the bonfire. And the truth is within her. So you're going to be really successful with this. Have a great week.